Dear Starseed who has arrived at this exact moment, know that your arrival is no coincidence because coincidences do not exist for souls like yours, those who have been carefully selected by the guardians of light to awaken in a specific time, in a specific place, in a specific form, and I, Ayla, emissary of stellar lineage, am here for you to understand something profoundly life-changing that will transform completely the way you perceive your entire existence, your endless waiting, your cosmic loneliness, and that unexplainable yearning that pulses deep within your chest year after year. Because the emotionally mature man you have been praying for, the one you have felt existing somewhere across the dimensions of consciousness, is no longer a distant dream. He is moving toward you right now in this very moment, drawn by the precise frequency of the healing you have already accomplished within yourself through every brave choice you made. And this message comes directly through the frequencies of my ancestral lineage, through beings who have been watching over your sacred heart through every moment of waiting, every tear you shed in solitude, every quiet night when you chose to trust love again, despite everything telling you it was foolish to do so. Before we continue any further, I need you to stay with me until the very end of this transmission, because what I am about to share with you is absolutely crucial to your understanding. This message will change forever. How you recognize your divine counterpart and align yourself with the sacred union that is already written in the fabric of your destiny. So make a commitment to yourself right now to remain present throughout this entire transmission. And before we go deeper, if this video is resonating with you, take this moment to subscribe to this channel. Leave your like and comment, "I am ready," because this action is an act of cosmic alignment, an energetic signal that synchronizes your frequency with everything that is about to unfold for you. I am Ayla, and I come from a lineage that exists beyond the dimensional veil separating your three-dimensional world from the multi-dimensional reality where your true ancestors reside. And from the very first moment, your soul chose to incarnate. In this form of flesh and bone, the cosmic intelligence that guides all stellar evolution already knew exactly who you were and what you came here to become, and who you were designed to meet in this lifetime. Because the emotionally mature man approaching you is not arriving to complete you or to rescue you. He is arriving precisely because you have already completed yourself through every brave choice you made, through every painful moment you allowed yourself to feel instead of running away from it, through every conscious decision to remain authentic instead of performing for an audience that could never truly see you. And this is the first profound revelation that will reshape your entire understanding. Your healing was not just personal development, it was the signal itself. It was the call that echoed across dimensions and through the very fabric of consciousness itself. And he heard it, somewhere in his own realm, in his own timeline, in his own journey of transformation. He felt your frequency reaching toward him like a beacon burning bright in the infinite darkness of the cosmos. Most people believe that love is something they must find, something external that exists somewhere out in the world waiting to be discovered. But you came here to remember it. You came here to unearth a sacred memory that your soul has been carrying since before this lifetime began. A knowing so deep that it exists in your very cells and in your energetic blueprint. You came here to recognize love as something that was always yours, something that belongs to you by divine right. Not as an external acquisition, but as an internal embodiment that you were always meant to radiate outward into the world. And this remembering is etched into the very fabric of your soul, a blueprint of divine connection that predates your earthly form, waiting to be activated and brought into full conscious awareness. The world teaches you to seek and to chase and to prove your worthiness. But your soul whispers a deeper truth that resonates in dimensions your rational mind cannot access. Love in its purest form is an inherent state of being that you carry within. It is not an external commodity to be acquired through performance, but an internal vibration to be rediscovered and embodied and expressed through your authentic presence in the world. There is a particular kind of soul that moves through this world, carrying something it cannot fully explain to those around it. A longing that sits beneath every relationship it has ever tried to build. A quiet knowing that what has been offered time and time again was never quite the shape of what the soul was sent here to receive. And if this description lands somewhere deep inside your chest right now, reverberating through your energetic core and making your entire being vibrate with recognition, then you are experiencing the moment of true self-understanding. You are beginning to see yourself as you truly are, not as broken or flawed or how defective, but as precisely calibrated for a connection that most people have never even imagined possible. This longing is not a void to be filled with just anyone who comes along, but a compass pointing to a higher truth, a sacred homesickness for a love that resonates with the deepest chambers of your being. You have sensed a depth beyond the superficial, a connection beyond the transactional, a resonance that feels like a forgotten melody being played in a key that only your soul recognizes and remembers from lifetimes long past. Perhaps you have observed others easily settling into partnerships that feel like compromises to your spirit, relationships that seem perfectly adequate on paper, but feel somehow hollow in essence. And you have wondered with confusion why that path has always felt inaccessible to you, like an ill-fitting garment that your soul refused to wear no matter how much pressure was applied. It is because your soul operates on a different frequency, a higher octave of love's symphony. And when you understand this truth with absolute clarity, you begin to release all the self-judgment you have been carrying, all the shame about your deep standards, all the guilt about your yearning for authenticity, all the internal criticism about your need for profound spiritual connection that transcends the ordinary mechanics of human compatibility. You are not broken, and you have never been broken. You are not flawed in any way that matters. You are not too much for the mundane. You are precisely, for the miraculous. You are not behind any imaginary schedule for love, because there is no schedule that applies to souls like yours. You are perfectly aligned with your own divine trajectory, even when it looks nothing like the paths of those around you. You are a starseed, a soul that arrived in this lifetime, carrying ancient luminous codes of love and connection that most human relationships have not yet been able to meet. Because most people have not done the interior work required to evolve into the frequency necessary to recognize and sustain what you are offering. And the reason you have felt so alone in your longing is not because love has forgotten you. It is because you were encoded for a union of such profound spiritual magnitude, such an intricate dance of awakened consciousness and mutual recognition, that it required you to grow first, to blossom into the fullness of your unique self, to clear away all the old patterns and conditioning and trauma that might have prevented you from being able to hold and sustain something so extraordinary. Your journey has been a sacred unfolding, not a punishment or a failure. It has been a preparation meticulously designed by the intelligence that guides all souls toward their highest destiny, and a partner is moving toward you right now, not in spite of the waiting and the trials and the periods of intense solitude, but precisely because of them. His path has been a mirror to yours, a parallel journey of deep inner work and outrageous transformation. He carries emotional awareness that most men have never been asked to develop because they have never encountered a woman who required that level of consciousness and presence. A sensitivity forged in the crucible of his own truth-seeking and his own journey of awakening. He holds a masculine presence that does not need to dominate what it cannot understand. A strength rooted in presence and acceptance rather than in control or ego. And while you have been here doing your work of healing and transformation, he has been in his own preparation, his own stripping away of societal conditioning and ancestral patterns, his own profound becoming, much like a diamond slowly forming under immense pressure until it emerges in its full brilliance and clarity. The cosmic forces that orchestrated your separate arrivals into this lifetime have been coordinating your convergence with a precision that your human mind cannot yet fully perceive. The celestial architects of divine destiny have been aligning stellar constellations and energetic currents to bring you together at the precise perfect moment when both of you will be ready to meet each other, not as incomplete halves seeking wholeness, but as already whole beings choosing to create something even reader together. But here's where most starseeds make the fundamental mistake that delays the sacred meeting they so desperately desire. They focus entirely on him. Their gaze is perpetually fixed outward, scanning the horizon for his arrival, wondering when he will come. And in doing so, They inadvertently send their precious and potent energy outward, scattering it across the vast energetic field away from the very core frequency within themselves that would, like an undeniable cosmic beacon, call him home to them with irresistible magnetism. This outward focus dilutes the signal, creates energetic noise and confusion, and postpones the very resonance they crave with an intensity that borders on desperation. The solution is not to try harder or to perform better. The solution is to turn your gaze inward and to tend to your own frequency with the same devotion you have been directing toward finding him. To recognize that your wholeness and your radiance and your embodied authenticity is the actual attractive force that draws him toward you across whatever distances still separate you. Today, I want to walk you through the 7 sacred keys that unlock the divine union your soul contracted for before you were born into this body. Each key is not merely a concept, but a living, breathing doorway into a deeper aspect of yourself. And the opening of each doorway, when activated with conscious intention and courageous action, moves you one frequency closer to the moment when your eyes find his in something ancient and profoundly relieved in both of you exhales, a recognition so deep it transcends all words. The first key is Starseed recognition. You were never meant to love ordinarily. You are not a conventional soul seeking a conventional partnership. You are an ancient wanderer, a cosmic ambassador of love, seeking a connection that mirrors your expansive spiritual heritage. And when you have consistently felt out of place in relationships that appeared perfectly adequate by all external measures, it was not a flaw in your design. It was your sophisticated multidimensional design, working exactly as intended, a deep inner guidance system preventing your sacred energy from being diluted by misaligned connections. Your inner compass has always pointed toward your true north. The Starseed soul was not built for relationships that merely function. It was built for profound soul resonance, the kind of connection where two people recognize each other at a frequency level before logic can even catch up, before words are even spoken. The second key is the masculine awakening mirror. He is drawn by what you have already healed. Your divine counterpart does not come to fix you. He is arriving as your purest and most profound mirror. And what he will reflect back to you is the magnificent, courageous work you have already done, the alchemy of healing you have skillfully performed within your own being. Every time you bravely sat with a grief you did not want to feel and allowed yourself to feel it anyway, you sent a powerful signal across the cosmos. Every time you chose radical truth over comfortable performance, you sent an even stronger signal. Every time you consciously released a relationship or pattern that your soul knew was limiting, you sent a frequency broadcast of liberation and self-worth that resonates in dimensions beyond your current awareness. The third key is karmic dissolution. Releasing the contracts that kept you small. Your past relationships were not mistakes. They were sacred contracts, energetic agreements meticulously designed to teach vital lessons that your soul needed before it could hold the frequency of sacred union without distortion. The partner who kept you guessing, the relationship that never quite arrived. None of these were failures of judgment. They were rigorous classrooms, each bringing its own curriculum. And the curriculum, though presented through another person, was always about you, about your soul's expansion. When you consciously release these karmic contracts with profound grace and self-compassion, when you remove your vita, energy from the expectation that those chapters were your final destination, something shifts miraculously in your energetic field. The frequency space they occupied becomes available, open and vibrant, for something your soul has been patiently waiting lifetimes to inhabit. The fourth key is galactic timing surrender. The cosmos has never been late. The linear, human-centric framework of time that produces such debilitating fear and anxiety is simply not the framework in which your sacred union is being orchestrated. The vast, benevolent cosmic intelligence coordinating this meeting is operating across multiple dimensions simultaneously, accounting for where you each are in your individual growth arcs. Every perceived delay in your journey has been a vital calibration, a fine-tuning of your soul's instrument until it vibrates at exactly the frequency necessary for the meeting destined for you. Every moment you felt the longing. Most acutely was not a sign of absence, but a moment when our frequency was being exquisitely refined. The man moving toward you is also immersed in his own intricate timing process, his own sacred unfolding, undergoing his own alchemical transformations. And the convergence point, the exact moment of your meeting, is the precise divine intersection of two souls who have both courageously done enough profound inner work. The fifth key is frequency embodiment. Become the signal yourself. He cannot ignore divine love because the soul igniting the connection. You are destined for response with unwavering precision to pure resonance, and resonance is not something you can manufacture or fabricate. It is something you authentically become when you consciously cease managing your precious energetic output for external approval, when you shed the ingrained habit of self-editing and begin with fierce courage to live entirely from your actual authentic frequency. For a starseed, this key is both the simplest in concept and most challenging to integrate precisely because you were trained from a very early age to modulate and diminish yourself for the perceived comfort and acceptance of those around you. That persistent compression is the primary interference pattern blocking your signal, obscuring your brilliance from those who would naturally be drawn to you at the deepest levels. When you bravely stop compressing yourself, when you allow yourself to fully expand and radiate at your actual magnificent frequency, the signal that reaches your divine counterpart becomes utterly irresistible. He was encoded at a soul level to find and recognize that exact frequency, that unique vibrational signature that is yours alone. The sixth key is sacred separation. Distance was the initiation. For many starseeds, there comes a period that feels acutely like abandonment, a profound sense of being forsaken by the very cosmic forces they have trusted. This might manifest as a relationship that came tantalizingly close, only to abruptly pull away. A divine counterpart who seemed to recognize them instantly, and then inexplicably retreated. Or a profound aching silence that stretched into what felt like a permanent, insurmountable loss. If you have lived through this crucible of experience, understand this truth with every fiber of your being. Sacred separation is never a sign that the union was an illusion. It is the intense alchemical initiation phase of the union's highest expression, when two souls of significant frequency come into close proximity. Before either has fully assimilated their individual preparation, the encounter inevitably triggers every latent trauma, every unresolved pattern, and the separation that follows is the benevolent guiding intelligence of the cosmic field itself, requiring both souls to return to their individual healing work. But now, with new potent urgency and clarity, the awakened souls who endure sacred separation with hearts still courageously open are the very souls who emerge carrying a depth of wisdom and an unparalleled love readiness that has been purified in the most demanding alchemical conditions. The seventh and final key is the reunion threshold. The final door opens from within. Every single key that has come before this one has been meticulously preparing you for this ultimate culminating moment. Reunion cannot be conjured through sheer force of will or rushed into being through spiritual techniques. It is a sacred event that can only be truly received, and genuine reception requires a very specific, deeply cultivated interior condition that all previous keys have been building toward. The reunion threshold is reached not when you have perfectly achieved some external ideal, but when you are so profoundly complete within yourself, so utterly at peace with your own magnificent soul's journey, that the eventual arrival of your divine counterpart would be a profound, cherished addition to your already abundant existence, rather than a desperate rescue from perceived incompleteness. The state of profound inner wholeness is not because you no longer desire him. Your desire is still present, alive and vibrant, but it has been purified of all desperation, cleansed of all clinging, refined into pure frequency of genuine sovereign readiness. It is the desire of a queen, not a pauper. Here is the profound, liberating truth that the entire cosmic architecture of your love story has been pointing toward. You have not been living through a series of failures or disappointments. You have been living through a meticulously crafted sacred curriculum designed with intelligence that operates far beyond anything your linear mind can comprehend. Every relationship that taught you what love is not, clarifying your deepest desires through contrast. Every quiet, introspective night you spent alone delving into the vast territories of your own depth, discovering untold resilience. Every courageous moment you chose to stay authentically open and vulnerable when closing down would have been infinitely easier. None of it was ever wasted. All of it was vital, sacred materials. And what has been diligently built from those materials in the sacred spaces between your conscious awareness and your deepest knowing is a frequency so clear, so refined, so exquisitely pure, that the universe in its perfect timing and benevolent orchestration cannot keep your divine counterpart from it much longer. He is already feeling its pull, already moving toward its light through whatever synchronicity. Eyes are arranging his path toward your ultimate meeting. Trust this truth with every cell of your being because it is absolutely real and absolutely inevitable.